Hello everybody and welcome to week 4. We are almost halfway through this course. By Wednesday we will be halfway through, so that's kind of crazy. I have graded everything from week 2, so if it was turned in, I graded everything yesterday. I know some people are still working on a couple of things due to issues beyond their control, so not a big deal there. Just make sure you get that done. So I am logged in here as a student to our course. I just want to point out a couple things if you haven't paid any attention. Like over here where it says grade, when you see that number next to it, that means you have a new grade that you can go and look at. So just want to make sure you guys knew that was there. Also over here, I really love this to-do list. Now, my test student has a lot to do, obviously, but hopefully you guys are just seeing what is coming up for week 4, okay? But if you have some things that you haven't done, it'll be over here usually in your to-do list. All right, so week 4, let's click on our modules. Okay, I'm going to scroll on down here to week 4. All right, so we have our usual week 4, what to do. And it's just a quick overview of what you need to make sure you complete for this week. This week we are learning about Microsoft Access, and this is a database program. Make sure you read the chapters and watch the video before you attempt the assignments and the discussion question. That's right, just one discussion question this week. If you didn't get the CD with your book, remember you can find the assignments here. You just click. Okay, it's going to open up this announcement for you. Click here. All right, it's going to download this zip file. You can see it downloading the zip file. And then when you click on it, it will open up the zip file, and you can double click there and you can see all of the assignment files in this folder. Okay, so if there's something in here that you needed that you can't find, let me know, but they should all be here. All right, you'll notice for this assignment, you'll need to do 2 and 4. You also do Project 1, but there's no file associated with that. You're creating your own file. So, all right, just want to make sure you guys knew that. Also, don't forget you have to have Microsoft Office, and you can get it for free here. All right, good. Okay, so, I guess we also wanted to look at what we're actually doing this week. Sorry about that. So this week you're going to read chapters 15 and 16. There is a video that walks you through the basics of Excel, creating databases, creating queries, and reports. And that's really what you need for your projects this week. So make sure you watch that video. This is not a video I created. This one I felt like was a little better than what I could do. So it's on YouTube, but the link is there, and it'll open it up for you. But, if that video doesn't work for you, you could Google another one. You can Google very specific questions. How do I create a field in Microsoft Access? You'll be surprised. It'll come up for you just like that. Google is amazing, as you guys all know. So not to say that I can't help you and answer questions, but there are some quick ways you can find these out when you're in the middle of working on a project. All right, you're going to respond to our discussion question. So let's take a look at that. Oh, and it's locked until tomorrow. So let me pop out of student view then, and that way we can take a look at it. All right, let's try that again. Okay, so it says, what use can you make of a database in your personal or professional life? I'll start. I use Access to keep track of friends' mailing addresses and contact information. Post your initial response by Wednesday and respond to 2 classmates' posts by Friday. Your responses should be more than just I agree. And remember, you can always click and take a look at the rubric. And, that 150-word minimum, that's not a lot, but it's definitely, just a 50-word response really isn't enough. So make sure that you're meeting that requirement. All right, so that's our discussion question for this week. All right, then we also have a database fundamentals quiz, and that is here. Some questions may appear more than once. That happens sometimes in these when they're pulling these questions out of another database. So just go with it if that's what happens. Hopefully it's one you knew. All right, and then you have 3 exercises, 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so for exercise 1. All right, you're going to follow the directions for Project 1 in your book. It's on page 416, and then you're going to submit your finished project through Canvas. pay close attention to this rubric, okay? It shows you what everything is worth and what I'm looking for when I'm grading. Remember, you can find, there's another link to the project files if you don't have the CD. So for this first project, you're creating a database in Microsoft Access, a database table. All right, so this one walks you through setting it up. And what you're doing is you're creating one for a library here, and you're going to have fields with things like title, author, publisher, quantity, lend date, borrow, and email, and email. And you can make these things up, and you can just use your own books that you have, or you can just look things up on the computer. And then it gives you some directions to go through, and that video will help you. So make sure you watch that. And so that is what you're going to be doing for the first Access project. All right, and then we have Access project number 2. Same thing here. You start on page 418. This one you're creating a query. All right, and here's what I'm looking for in the rubric. All right, and so for this one, you're going to open up that project Access 2 file, and you're going to use that and make the changes and create the query using the query wizard. I don't know if I'm saying that. So make sure that you pay close attention to that part in your book and the video. Okay, but it should not be that difficult. So just make sure you work your way through the project, following it step by step. If you have questions, let me know. I'll be glad to help you. All right, and then finally you have your Access. All right, project number 4. This starts on page 422 in your book. Once again, here's the rubric. This time you're creating a report. So you're going to be using that Project Access 4 file from the project folder. And then for this one, you're going to be creating a report. So just make sure that you pay close attention. It walks you through step by step, and the book shows you exactly what it should look like as you go through and finish it. So if you have questions about that as well, please let me know. So this is what we are doing for week 4 in CS101. I also just want to take a second to say what a dramatic improvement I saw in your papers from week 1 to week 2. You guys did. You really took the information that I gave you and the outline and showing you how to do that, and you really took it and ran with it. And a lot of you went above and beyond, creating an abstract for your paper, which was awesome. You'll also notice that for several of you, I did leave some audio feedback for your paper, so make sure you listen to that if you have questions about your grade or what you did right and did wrong and that kind of thing. So that is it. So good luck with week 4. I'll be getting all of week 3 graded, hopefully by this time next week, and hopefully I can get some of the extra stuff in week 4 also graded before then too. Not having to grade the papers might be a little bit, I might be able to make it go a little faster. So, all right guys, if you have questions, let me know. Keep up the fantastic work.